Los Angeles to San Francisco in 30 minutes, zipping around the country in pods traveling at over 700 miles per hour. It's not science fiction, it's the Hyperloop. Let's get this going. The Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, or SpaceX, where Iron Man himself, also known as Elon Musk, and a bunch of his buddies send privately funded rockets into space and then try to land them back on Earth like a video game. Well, they have another project up their sleeves and it could change the future of transportation forever. The idea is simple. You take a massive tube, stretch it from one city to another, throw some pressure in there, create a near vacuum seal, then strap a bunch of people into a cozy pod and send them on their way. Voila! In around 30 minutes you've gone from Chicago to Pittsburgh. And surprisingly, this idea is not a new one. The general idea of trains or other transportation traveling through evacuated tubes dates back more than a century. Although the atmospheric railway was never a commercial success, Elon Musk's Hyperloop may make the idea economically viable. Musk first mentioned that he was thinking about a concept for a fifth mode of transport, calling it the Hyperloop, in July 2012 at a Pando Daily event in Santa Monica, California. Musk mentioned some of the characteristics the Hyperloop will have. Needless to say, it was impressive. Immunity to weather, collision-free, twice the speed of a plane, low power consumption, and energy storage for 24-hour operations. It's incredible. The thing would never stop running, and the power is free. On top of that, Musk also invited feedback to see if the people can find ways to improve it. So the Hyperloop is now an open source project. High school and college kids get to work. You could find yourself on the Hyperloop team. Okay, cool. How does it work? It's actually quite ingenious. In the alpha level concept, passenger-only pods are 7 feet 4 inches in diameter, which means that the tubes would need to be at least 10 feet in diameter to comfortably fit the pods. Placed throughout the tubes and pods are magnetic accelerators. This enables the pod to float above the track and move forward. The tubes would be a low-pressure environment to reduce resistance. So in other words, it would be a near vacuum seal within the tubes. This creates pressure. The pressure is then used as propulsion, which pushes the pod forward while it floats above the magnets. To prevent pressure buildup, Musk invented an air compressor that allows the air to travel safely from the front of the pod to the back. Pretty cool. The technology is actually adapted from maglev systems currently in use in Japan, which goes really fast. The quickest train on record out here in the United States was clocked at 150 miles per hour, while Japan's maglev system was clocked at a world record 370 miles per hour. But, amazingly, the Hyperloop would put that to shame. It is projected to reach a top speed of 760 miles per hour. But wouldn't that be dangerous to us? Your guess is as good as mine, my friends. Analysis shows that passengers will experience a maximum inertial acceleration of 0.5 Gs, or in other words, about 2 or 3 times that of a commercial airliner on takeoff and landing. In case you are curious, at those speeds, no sonic boom will occur. SpaceX's Hyperloop concept was made public by the release of a preliminary design in August 2013. This included a national route running from Los Angeles to San Francisco, paralleling the Interstate 5 corridor for most of its length. Predictions say such a route might obtain an expected journey time of 35 minutes. How quick is that? Meaning that the passengers would traverse a 350-mile route at an average speed of 600 miles per hour. So, why is this so important? Sadly, just about every form of public transportation has 3 very important downsides. 1, they are awful for the environment. Planes, trains, and automobiles emit all sorts of toxins that are extremely harmful. 2, they are really not that fast. I mean, do you remember the last time you flew, took a train, or drove somewhere far? It is never pleasant. I mean, let's be honest here, people. On top of the sluggish commutes, you have to deal with disgruntled passengers and employees who have forgotten what the term customer service means. 3, it is extremely expensive. The California high-speed railway system is expected to cost $67 billion with a B dollars, while the Hyperloop is expected to only cost around $8 billion. That is a huge difference. Funding to operate prototype Hyperloop vehicles on test tracks have already begun. Hyperloop Transportation Technologies is building a 5-mile track in Quay Valley, California. SpaceX is building a 1-mile track in Hawthorne, California. And Hyperloop One is building a test track in North Las Vegas, Nevada. One can only hope that the idea sticks and eventually becomes a reality. Not only would this change the face of transportation, but it would change the way we operate on a daily basis. People could find jobs across the country now without having to move. And uncles you never spoke to suddenly are a part of your lives. You could even visit Miami and Washington, D.C. in the same day. Not to mention companies like Amazon and Walmart using the Hyperloop to ship their products. The possibilities are endless. So keep your fingers crossed. This science fiction story may just become a reality. I hope you enjoyed this week of School to University. If you did, don't be shy. Please leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys next week.